Hey everyone, we're back. It's Dr. Fullstack. So today we're going to go ahead and cover Swarm is an experimental and educational framework designed to explore lightweight multi-agent orchestration. If you're interested in building smart ergonomic systems, this framework might just spark some ideas. Swarm focuses on making agent coordination and simple execution simple, controllable, and testable. It's powered by OpenAI's chat completion API, but unlike typical tools, Swarm employs a concept of hands-off and routines. This is fancy for workflows. Each agent works independently, handing off tasks smoothly to others when needed. Now, I want you to remember that Swarm is experimental right now. It's not for production use. This framework is here to explore new ways of orchestrating tasks among multiple agents, perfect for learning, but not yet ready for real-world apps. Let's start exploring the setup for Swarm. It requires Python 3.1 or higher. You can install this utilizing the commands in the README, and I've also implemented installing Python -.env so that I can manage my .env variables that way with the actual file. But you can go ahead and just export your OpenAI key into your local environment. That's a really popular way of handling your OpenAI key. So those are two disclaimers that I just wanted to push out there. Other than that, we're going to go over a few particular examples so that you can understand how Swarm works in a nutshell. Here in the example folder, we see several folders, but we're going to focus on basic. In basic, we see 4 files that we're going to talk about: agent underscore handoff.py, bare underscore minimum.py, context underscore variables.py, and function underscore calling.py. Now, what is the difference between all of this? Well, let's go ahead and look at the file. I'll zoom in here so that you have a better look, and let's close the terminal. Here, we're looking at us importing 2 particular files from Swarm. We're going to import Swarm as well as agent. Now we're importing 2 specific classes from the Swarm module. Next, this is up to you, but I've set up a .env file, and that .env file has my OpenAI key. But you don't have to do it that way. You can simply run the command export and then have your environment actually be local, and there you'll just store your environment variable keys. That's up to you. But that's the boring stuff. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's talk about Swarm. On line 11, you can see that I'm instantiating Swarm for the first time within a variable called client. Here, we have 2 agents. One agent has this name, and the other agent has this name. Now we're instantiating 2 different agents simply based on the properties that we're giving it. And that's the beauty of agents. We're creating a module for each agent, and that agent will have specific instructions and handle the same data differently. That is the beauty of an agentic framework. This is the orchestration that we're going to be looking into. Here, as I mentioned, we've given 2 properties, name, instructions, as arguments. Now, the name of the first agent, which we've saved into the variable English agent, well, that name is just going to be English agent. We also provided instructions, and the instructions happen to be only 4 words. You only speak English. Here on line 18, we have a variable called Spanish agent. That's where we're instantiating the second agent. it also takes in two arguments. One, a name, and secondly, instructions. The instructions are only 4 words long. You only speak Spanish. The name of this agent is Spanish agent. Really simple names. On line 24, what we see here is a function. This function is just going to return the Spanish agent to the caller of the function. Transfer Spanish speaking users immediately. Line 29 is where we're adding functions to a particular agent. And I think that that's really neat. If we merely use the method functions, which also has another method called append, well, it's going to take an argument, and that argument is just going to be the function that we want this agent to be able to utilize as a tool. In this case, it happens to be the function that I mentioned earlier, transfer to Spanish agent. So the English agent is going to have this functionality to be able to transfer to a Spanish agent. On line 31, we see the variable messages. Messages just counts as the conversation between the user and the AI agent. Here we have initialized the first object of this array to be role with the value of user, content with the value of hola, ¿cómo estás? We're pretending that this user is speaking Spanish, and we want to see whether this English agent that we instantiated on line 13 is going to be able to transfer this to the Spanish speaking agent, which should immediately answer. Line 36, we're going to get the response of the result of the run method. Now, client, which again is where we instantiated Swarm on line 11, well, client has a method called run. And here we can see that it takes in several arguments and returns a response. But in this case, we're just going to give it an agent, which is the English agent, and messages. We're going to go ahead and give it messages over here, which counts as the conversation. Then after all of those things, we're just going to print the result. And not only the result, we want the last message that was attached to this array. Within that last message, we're going to go ahead and check the content, and that will let us know what the agent has said to us. So I'm getting really excited. Let's go ahead and run this actual file. So since it's in several folders, I'll go ahead and just copy the path name, and that way we can just run it with the Python script directly. So the name of the actual folder, or rather file, is called agent handoff.py. Let's go ahead and run that. Okay, so here we see that the agent has answered me. Now I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see that. Here, let's say in our code base that we spoke to the agent and we said, hola, ¿cómo estás? Well, the agent is answering us, hola, estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo estás? So the agent is asking me how I'm doing. Well, I feel very special. Thank you, agent, for asking me that. So in order to see another example, let's go ahead and change this up just a bit. Here, instead of hola, ¿cómo estás? I'll say hola, ¿dónde eres? Now, I didn't add the accent aigu and things of that nature. Let's see if it still works. I'm going to go ahead and run the command once more. And here, we see that we've received a different response. Hola, soy un asistente virtual y estoy aquí para ayudarte desde donde sea que te encuentres. So I think it's nice to meet you, something like that. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte hoy? So how can I help you today? Which is awesome. Now I have to practice this word. I think it's called asistente. Sorry, my Spanish is like pretty poor right now. I think this is pronounced virtual. pero no sé. So that's my Spanish that you're getting for today. But what I'd say is it has answered us, and we're gonna ask one more question in Spanish. So I'm gonna say, ¿Dónde tú, I think vives? It's like, I think where you live, something like that. Let's see if that's my high school Spanish is coming back to me. Let's see here. All I know is que Dios te bendiga. So let's see here. Let's run this command. Okay. So, hola, soy una inteligencia artificial y no tengo un lugar físico donde viva. Estoy aquí para ayudarte con cualquier pregunta o información que necesites. ¿En qué puedo asistirte? Asistirte hoy. All right, that's it. All right, that was funny. But what we see here is that the model is actually responding to us in Spanish. Now, if we went ahead and switched things around, and I said transfer to an English agent, let's make that lowercase. So I'm transferring to an English agent here, and of course I'm going to have to change the name of this variable here. Let's get rid of the terminal so you guys can see. I'll zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to change this to an English speaking agent, the function, right? And let's just say English here. Let's just comment. And here I'm going to return the English agent. And now I'll have to also change the initial agent that I give to the Swarm instantiation. So instead it's going to run the Spanish agent first. We're going to give it messages, but the messages are going to be, hey, I am American. I don't speak. All right. Hey, I'm an American. I don't speak Spanish. So that's what the user is saying the first time. So let's see if there's anything else we need to change. I think that this looks like it will suffice. So let's go ahead and run the command. So let's see here. Okay, so it's still speaking Spanish to me. So there must be something that I didn't do wrong. Oh, sorry, there must be something that I did wrong. Let's double check here. So we did give it a Spanish agent. The person saying I'm an American. I don't speak Spanish. We were supposed to return the English agent. Okay, so let's see what happened there. So here, hola, no hay un problema. Estoy aquí para ayudarte. Okay, there we go. Here's the bug. So the bug was that I was appending this still to the English agent and not the Spanish agent. So let's go ahead and delete this. And let's append this function to the Spanish agent. And now we should get a response in English. So let's go ahead and run the command. Beautiful. So now we've sent instructions in English. It's responding to us in English. And if I were to change that to Spanish, right? So no. So let's see if that responds the right way. Oh, wait. I just confused myself. Okay, so hold on. So I'm here to help you in English. How can I assist you today? Do I want help in English? So I say, yo hablo español solamente. I think that's how you spell it, but if not, hopefully it understands. Oh, sorry. All right, let's go ahead and run that command. Great. So now it's answering me in Spanish, which is what I wanted. Let's try to say that I only speak Spanish, but in English this time. I only speak Spanish. Yes. So let's see if it stays in Spanish. ¿Cómo puedo ayudarte hoy? So perfect. How can I help you today? Now, I'm going to reverse that and just say I only speak English. Amazing. So that's how you work with Swarm. Now, obviously, there were a few gimmicks there, but this is new to me as it is to you. Now we've learned a thing or two. That's the good thing about debugging. Now, I'm also going to go over the other examples. So stay tuned for the next video and make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. I love going over AI topics. So anytime anything new with AI comes about, make sure that you check my channel out because I'll always have a video related to the topic. Talk to you soon, Dr. Fullstack.